Welcome back, everybody, to One-and-Done-athon Season 2. We're here into day 2. We've had 2 fantastic runs so far, and we are looking good for our third one. Metal Gear, the MSX version, is going to be run by Hau5test here in just a moment. Want to remind everybody that what we got going on this marathon is just a very special event where everybody can submit one thing and can potentially be accepted one time, and once they do their one run, they are gone forever. Banished from One-and-Done-athon, banished from the series. So with that in mind, Hau5test, take it away and let us know why this was the one thing you decided to submit.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all well. My name is Hau5test. Thank you so much for having me today. Yeah, as we said, it's One-and-Done-athon. We only have one chance to show our game. And I'm so happy that I can join with Metal Gear. It's the game I spent the most time on this year, practicing, grinding out really, and the work came through. I'm currently leading the 80% and the 100% leaderboards, and I also am not alone. I also have with me Sergeant Silent, who was the person that introduced me to the game. I originally learned to commentate a race for him versus Puzon, the former world record holder. And that's how it goes sometimes. You know, you learn a game just to help out a stream, and then all of a sudden, a year later, well, you make a whole auto splitter for the game. You play the PC version, which I cannot really recommend. And we're also here today at GDQ. And, well, at GDQ, Metal Gear also had a history. We also had Pucci Darcy showing, I think, 2016. He did the Big Boss run and achieved the rank as well, which is not easy. That's a very tough run. This summer, we had Joseph Joestar, 316, showing us 80%. And I guess I will close the circle today because I have the honor to show you 100%. And for those wondering on screen why it says currently 1987 and 2006, Metal Gear is the first game, and it had actually its 35th birthday this year. Happy birthday. But we're going to play on the PS2 port. We're going to go into a little bit more detail later during the run, what that means. But that means that the game has been basically reconstructed. And that also means for us we have a difficulty selection, original versus easy. And for today, 100% will be run on easy. And just to quickly explain what 100% means versus any percent. In any percent, we just play the game as fast as possible. The current world record time for this is at 18 minutes, 56 seconds. And 100% adds around 10 minutes on top of it. So it's still a very nice speed run, very short, but we also get to save all the people. We get all codecs that we need to call, we get all weapons, all items, and we're also going to fight all the bosses, because all our categories, we skipped so many bosses, not in this one. 100% means 100%. It's a community-defined goal. It's not official in the game, but we think especially beating all the bosses is the one thing we should do. So many things are coming in here, all crammed in 10 extra minutes, 30 minutes in total, and yeah, I think we're ready to go. Sergeant, count me down.
Good. You want me to count down? All right.
Hit me.
Let's get this 100% run going in 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, my friend House.
Thank you very much.
So, right off the bat, we get this short little introduction sequence that introduces us to a couple things. Skipping codecs, we're going to learn how to move, all this stuff. You'll notice House basically skipped all those codecs instantly. That's going to be a theme of this game. We're only going to answer the codecs we have to, make the calls we need to. You can simply hold, I believe on the PS2 PAL version, it's, I think, X, just skip them. If you've used to the any percent, you'll know we usually grab that key card and we're on our way. However, again, this is 100% with community-defined rules, so House needs to collect one of every item in the game, barring a PS2 exclusive item called the bandana, which he does not have in his inventory because that's a New Game Plus thing. We don't count it. We're going to grab 6 rations, set up a menu, and then again, we're going to do something slightly out of the norm. We need to collect items. So if you've played this game casually or the NES version, then you might be used to grabbing some of these extra items. Like in here, we have a gas mask that we're going to grab. And in any percent, you wouldn't grab this, but gas mask is actually going to be a very nice item, especially in this category, because those 10 extra minutes mean a lot more traveling, which means a lot of time in gas rooms that we wouldn't normally spend. And those gas rooms will do a lot on our health. You can see we're class 1, which means we have about 50% of our health. That health, while we only have 50%, we still take the same damage. So we want to mitigate all damage possible, which is not only do we need that pistol we just picked up, that pistol's also gonna potentially come in use later for eliminating threats, because getting shot is going to do, I think, 4 ticks of damage to us, and contact does, I don't remember if it's 1 or 2.
Sorry, one.
That damage is scary. So you saw House walk through that guard and take damage there. Anytime we can take contact, we always want contact. However, guards in this game are very random, which means they could decide to shoot just because they wanted to. There is an RNG manip, which House is running. However, it falls into a couple categories. So that's why the guard in the gas mask room fell asleep. And if we're on the right RNG, depending on if House moves the same as he always does, we should have a good pattern for an upcoming boss. But we'll get to that later. Right now, we're just collecting everything we need. These plastic explosives are required for the game, so we need them. There was a room back there that you might have asked why we didn't go to. So every card in this, or every door in this game, requires a card, with like 2 exceptions. Those cards have to be put on for that door. They're not selective. So the 1 card House had on, he needed it for that. The 2 card he got, he's gonna need for other rooms. You also notice we picked 6 rations up at the beginning. We've already burned 3 of those rations. That just goes to show how much damage House is going to be taking. Now, normally you want these rations to be used automatically by guards, by enemies, whatever, such as walking across that electric floor. You're always going to burn 1 at this health. However, if House has to, there are safety rations routed in so that House can afford to burn 1. So let's see if House got the good pattern. Looks like, did you get the good pattern here, House?
Well, the thing is, I'm manipulating the guards basically not at all. I'm keeping my distance so they don't randomly start walking away, right?
Okay.
And usually we start with right side at the bottom, then left, and then we move up to the center and just wait for the top guys to move to the center so I can just shoot them without taking damage. In that instance, I sadly missed the first one to the right and had to wait a little bit longer, but, you know, we were still good. We have 7 health points, so it's manageable.
Yeah. So, in any percent, you wouldn't kill those guys. But again, this is 100%. As House mentioned at the start, one of the community-defined things is collecting all items. Those guys drop a required item, the silencer, which allows House to use the pistol, specifically the pistol, without triggering an alert, which is pretty useful later on, because as you can see, House is taking these guys out. That's for safety, but also just shows the usefulness of the silencer, because without that, that would have triggered an alert. It would have triggered what's called a floor-wide alert. There's 2 kinds of alerts. We do not want floor-wide alerts, especially in this category, if we can help it. Cameras trigger those, lasers trigger those, gunshots trigger those.
Yeah. For example, right now we're gonna get a floor-wide one. As you can see, it carries over to the next room.
So those are pretty scary if we get them where we're not meant to get them. However, if we get them where we're okay with them, such as you could see, House picked up a POW, which gave him class 2, which increased his HP and increased his ammo count. He's now a lot less concerned about his HP, because at this point we know how many rations we have, we know where we're gonna use them. And House, did you just get arrested? What's this? You can't do that.
See, the mission is first off to go save Grey Fox. Oh, there he is. And basically the trick is you have to get captured and then punch through the wall, and then you can save him. But that's only the first part of our mission. Now we also learn we have to find the Metal Gear of this game, the TX55. So the mission is still on, folks.
I was expecting you to say the Metal Gear of this game, Shotmaker.
Not quite, sir, but we will find him for sure. Again, 100% means fighting all of them. In Big Boss, we find them. And in any percent, we do not fight them.
Yep. So right now, we don't have the ammo because we had all our stuff taken from us. So we have to go into this room. We're going to specifically collect 5 ammo boxes. That's going to give us the necessary amount of ammo in order to take out pretty much everyone we need until later. House, would you like to explain why that C4 just destroyed that wall?
Yeah, so we recently found out, shoutouts to Nick Up Green, who also runs this game, you can place bombs fairly early, or rather far away from the walls where you need to open them. And what's really weird about it is that if you stand still on vertical walls, the bombs actually have a bigger radius. So it used to be here on the horizontal wall, that doesn't matter. I can walk into it and continue walking first frame. But for the vertical ones, I want to place the bomb rather early, far away, as much as I can, and then stand still. You can even tap if you want, but the important thing is that at least for one frame, you stand still, and then the radius of the explosion will be bigger. And that can save us up to 2 seconds in this room alone.
Yeah, it was a very recent and very significant find. It actually helped contribute to bringing the record down, along with a lot of other small optimizations. But to quote House during the marathon one where that happened, what? I believe that's an exact quote. It pretty much blew all of our minds that happened.
It's crazy. We also learned so much more in general about bomb placements as well. This game, once it's been relatively old, it's not the most popular one, and that's maybe because it feels a little bit, like a very high grade that you need to learn first, right? A very big hurdle at first. I can tell you guys, we made new tutorials, video tutorials, text tutorials. I would really recommend you giving it a shot if you feel interested about it, if you have a PS2 lying around or have the HTC collection. It is a lot of fun, and it's actually very easy to pick up after like an hour or so trying a little bit. And maybe we see each other on the leaderboards.
So House was working on a couple different ways to do this floor. It looks like he has enough health. He's confident to go for the riskier approach. What he's choosing to do is use the cardboard box, which normally you wouldn't see, to purposely avoid triggering a flow-wide alert there. Because this section, you can see we don't have a ton of health. We don't want to burn that ration if we can afford it. A flow-wide alert, for example, would have triggered that electric flow immediately. However,
that was really good. This floor did not take any damage from us, and that's really tight.
That was awesome. I did get a question. Since you're using the submachine gun, does the silencer work on the submachine gun?
It does. As you just seen, I shot 2 people, and it actually didn't trigger a flow-wide alert. So it does work for the pistol and for the SMG.
I apologize if I implied it didn't earlier. Thank you for the question. That's a good clarification.
Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, guys, we have a little bit of time on our hands. Just send them over.
Yep.
He falls asleep.
Is that guaranteed to fall asleep there? That's another RNG thing.
Yeah,
right?
You can punch him, but sometimes even if you punch him, it takes still too long, and he will still fall asleep. So this time I just winged it and see if it works or not.
So
it's a second time now, we're all good. And oh my god, unfortunately, I have to burn a ration now. We're exactly at 4 points of health. If I had 5, I would have survived this encounter with 1. It would be fine.
So one of the things you'll notice is that bosses are suggested obstacles, even when we do require that you take them out. They're really negligible. It's basically, if you have the health to stand there and shoot them, stand there and shoot them. It's faster than trying to dodge or do whatever mechanics they have here. So now we're going to trigger a flow-wide alert because at this point we've rescued all the POWs here. You see we got another class up, so we have even more health. We're 1 class away from being at full health, which is our ultimate goal here. But in the meantime, we're going to equip the Bomb Blast suit, which if you guys played this game casually, you might have gotten stuck here and been unable to figure out what to do. You need that Bomb Blast suit to get past an invisible trigger there that continually pushes Snake back. The Bomb Blast suit weighs him down, which causes him to not get pushed back the wind, or pushed back by the wind. So
I also saw that I picked up the RC missile, and that's an item we completely don't need, but we have to pick it up for the 100% category.
Yep. There was a pickup for the RC missile earlier. If you played this or the NES version, you'll know there was a room we could have picked it up earlier that requires a level 2 card. However, it's slow to go back and get that. House actually timed it out. It was what, like 40
seconds, I think.
40 seconds faster.
Yeah, it's a lot.
To grab this one on the roof. Even though it looks like House is going so far out of his way, he literally has to for category rules, so it's worth saving those 40 seconds to grab that and then go over to that side. Now we're at, for most people, a really scary bridge. Thankfully, House might even edge walk for us here.
A little bit.
This bridge looks scary, but it's 100% consistent. It's always going to be the same. And at this point, we have really good HP. So unless these guards really light into us,
It's fine.
we're going to be completely fine. Because we're coming up on the first boss that you actually would have to fight in a category. We have while you fight the Hind, which you basically just get in position, throw 20 grenades. We have a question. What happens if you do not remove the transmitter, House?
You will constantly be caught, I think, and put back into your prison cell. I believe in the NES version it's different. You will just be under constant alert.
Yeah. You can actually beat the NES version without removing the transmitter. However, in the PS2 version, the MSX release, if you keep the transmitter in, it is physically impossible to beat the game. We do not have a way to skip that. So House did a really cool thing where he avoided that bomb he just hit, and then taking advantage of his iframes. This game actually has a lot of iframes when it wants to give you a lot of iframes.
Yeah.
He can actually just tank every one of those mines, get through it. How are you feeling about your health right now, House? Are you confident in this?
8 points is more than enough to finish this building, and then we're straight on to building 2.
Nice.
However, oh my god, I'm not allowed to forget
you need
this.
15, sir.
I need 15 of these. So we're gonna grab some mines now, and these mines we need for one single boss, and it's the most, annoying boss. It's the tank.
Yeah.
It's the one boss we fight only in this category. In all of us, we skip it using our iframes and just keep on walking through the tank.
Now, however, before we get to the tank, let's not jump ahead of ourselves here. We need to go back to the basement. There's 2 reasons to go back to the basement. 1, this is 100%. We have to. 2, because the item we're going to get in the basement, which you might not remember was there, requires the level 4 card, and it also makes the rest of this run so much easier. It's about a minute out of the way, I believe, according to roughly timing big boss runs, which is a whole nother category that is considered very hard. The body armor halves all damage taken. So all the contact damage, well, if contact's already 1, then that doesn't matter. But
for big boss, it would make it 1 instead of 2.
For bullets, which did 4, they now do 2. So House is going to do a menu here because those game has checkpoint systems. Basically, whenever you change maps, you get a checkpoint. So House is going to grab his mines or plastic explosives he needs. He's going to take a very specific line through the desert to avoid mines. And now we're going to come up on tank. We're actually going to manipulate tank by entering the screen a very specific way. And remember I said we have these iframes? We're going to take advantage of these iframes to actually run inside of the tank while he is shooting at us.
Come forth! Thank you!
Very trolly tank, but we did not die. If those iframes end while we are inside that tank, it is a instant death. Does not matter if you have rations on, nothing. It's over. He has to go back to the start of the desert. So one of the requirements for this category is he has to call every single codec. There are 4 in this version of the game. Big Boss, who changed, Diana, Strite, what's his name? Schneider, and another one who we're going to get to later. This is the next mini boss. His name is IKEA Tank. That is his name because Big Boss had the whole fortress built around that tank, or he bought the tank from IKEA and assembled it in that room. We're not sure which, but it's there. We don't. It
shouldn't be there, but it's there.
We don't have a way to skip that guy, so that would be cool. But for now, we have to fight him. He's an insta-kill on contact. And now we're going to come into most runners' least favorite segments, especially in the big boss category. As you can see, the moment you enter, you get an instant floor-wide alert. We're going to take some little optimal lines here and there to make sure we come into screens where possible, like right there on that 3-pillar room. That's actually gone through a lot of changes recently. And the goal is to take contact damage as much as possible, but these flying guards, they don't like to obey the laws of contact damage. They will shoot you, and they will non-stop shoot you. That looks like decent health, especially considering you have the gas mask. Would you agree with that, or are you worried about your health right now, House?
I'm totally feeling fine. We have 17 points here for Killer of Wonder, and we have currently 13 POW saved, which means after this one, the next one is our 15th POW, and as we established, every 5 POWs, we get a class upgrade.
Yep.
That's the thing I need.
I mentioned earlier that the gas mask makes these rooms a lot easier. This is a really good example of both the explosives being placed early, but also just how useful the gas mask can be. This whole section of like 4 or 5 screens is covered in gas. You'd be taking...
Dr. Matna.
Hey, you rescued
that's the fake one! Excuse me. We've been tricked, fooled, and bamboozled.
Well,
I guess I gotta find another Dr. Madden on my way. This one wasn't it.
Let's just casually find the other Dr. Madnar. So that was Flame Trooper. Nice boss fight. Not only do we want to kill him because he's required. Also, House is doing a nice little 3-punch buffer setup. Buffer, if you don't know, is basically buying time. Those lasers in Building 2 are on a timed schedule, and we're going to take advantage of knowing the schedule. That guard does not want you walking that way.
Oh my god.
We're going to take advantage of knowing when the lasers are. Set up a cycle so we can get through, because again, lasers are floor wide alert. As you can see, without a floor wide alert, those guards really unloaded into House, which has put us in a little bit of a predicament. 4 stars is full HP, but we still have a very limited amount of rations to work with, and we need to really make every use of those rations count here.
Absolutely. We're currently on 1 ration, and I kind of want to keep it until to a later point, because we haven't explained that really, but menuing in this game is key in order to be fast. And these items are put into a queue, basically. So every time when you pick something up, it gets added at the last item to your list. And if you do a different route, the item order can change. This has been changed in MG2, where every item is always in the same location, because it's actually been sorted. In MG1, it's not the case. So we also route it in when we grab an item and where it is in the menu.
Yep. So House uses a ration earlier than he anticipates. All these menus that he's spent months memorizing, left, up, suddenly become left, down, which you can already imagine how much that could mess him up. We want to avoid that, but it is better to burn the ration to stay alive. Menus, they add up, but they don't add up as much as death. Speaking of deaths, this is a pretty notorious section, I'd say, for anyone playing the game casually. You don't see this often. I'm going to let House explain this if he's feeling up to it, because he's spent a lot of time routing these exact movements.
Yeah, so we just go down, and that's exactly what we need to do in order to not fall into the pits. Every pit that we die to, we get sent back to the beginning of this entire hallway, and that takes a long time to get through. So this is one way down, and we have to go all the way back up again as well.
Yep.
Thankfully, though, so far we're looking good.
You notice when House took the flashlight off, all those rooms went dark. It is possible to get through those without the flashlight. However, I keep challenging House to do that, and he keeps telling me, no, I'm gonna grab the flashlight. Also, there is a pit right there that House walked around without triggering. If he hits that pit, he gets sent back to, I believe, this door, thankfully, but it's still frustrating. One day, if you run this House, I'm gonna put a donation incentive up. I'm gonna donate like $20 if you do this room in the dark. It's coming.
Oh my god. Technically, that's even blindfolded, so...
Yeah, if anyone would like to try to do this section blindfolded and find a consistent setup for it, that would be awesome. You legend.
My hat's off to you.
Anyway,
Alright, so we did all of this. Now we saved Ellen, and for those that don't know, we just saw the fake Dr. Matna. And in order to correctly save the real Dr. Matna, we don't have to just save him, we also have to save his daughter. It's only then we hear from Dr. Matna the order of legs that we need to hit in order to kill the Metal Gear of this game.
So we could have already gone to Madnar, but his dialogue specifically says, "I'm not telling you anything until you rescue my daughter Ellen." As such, we decided that in community rules, not only do you have to rescue the 21 POWs in the game, we also require that you rescue Ellen and then Madnar, because Madnar does not count as rescued until Ellen is rescued. I'm not sure if that's per se true in the code, but I would imagine it is.
There's definitely a check, and if it doesn't say at this one location one, Madnar's like, screw you.
Yeah. So right there, House picked up a very nice item. I don't know if you really use it in this category, but it's the anti-venom.
I do, actually. That's a good thing.
Anti-venom is super awesome, and you'll see why later. Other categories don't pick that up because it's way out of the way, which makes other categories very scary.
All right, class, memorize these like sort of. Oh, you haven't seen it? Ah.
All right,
you can do it.
Everyone memorize that. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. If you didn't get that, don't worry. It's going to be on the test later.
Yeah. We're not joking.
Yeah. So, something to talk about we haven't really mentioned. Snake's hitbox is very particular in this game, which allows us to move on very specific lines. You'll notice that Snake actually, even though he was kind of in that bloody Brad, he was still able to walk above him and avoid any contact damage. We're gonna make our final codec call. This is number 4. It's gonna be Jennifer. We need rank 4 to call Jennifer. While you can get into this room without Jennifer, the rocket launcher is not spawned in that room without Jennifer, and you cannot beat this game without the rocket launcher. So we need to get that. And now what we're gonna do is come down this way. We're gonna rescue the last POW on this floor, and now we're gonna
very important.
Yeah, very important. In one of the first test runs, House forgot that POW like 3 times in a row.
And I'm sitting at 99%, like no.
And now we're gonna exit to the elevator. House, what are you doing?
That was not planned. Let's try again. Come on. Why am I not phasing through?
How are you on the Vita version? Vita has phantom inputs.
Ah, god damn it. That's probably it. Wait, no, I'm on PS2.
What are you?
God damn it.
What? House, what are you doing?
I take one more shot at this. One more shot at this, and then we see what happens.
You're gonna get it. House,
Is
that's
it?
5 times now.
There
what's
it
that
is.
ding? Hey!
Hey! So for those wondering, yes, that was intentional. If we take 5 deaths on a checkpoint, which we said when we entered the elevator, and die 5 times, then the game's like, man, you're struggling with this part. How about I give you a hand? And the game gives us full ammunition, full rations, 24 in our case. And it's just like making the game so much faster for this.
Yep.
So yeah, that was intentional, just like it was when Joe did it as GDQ.
So that is exclusive to the 2004 port of the game on Java phones and later PS2, PS3. All versions of that have it. The NES, the MSX, they don't have that. It was added as like a little quality of life, ease of play feature. The original 100% runs actually didn't take advantage of that. That was routed in much later by a community member, Aerofram, in the 90%, and then House took a look at 100% and went, but what if? And now you have the run you see before you. It's I don't remember what old 100% was. I reckon
it was only done on original. Everyone did it on original, probably because they were like, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
We're getting to a point where we also learn why easy is also not just easier, but also faster. So Sarge, what is scuba skip? Oh, that was not scuba skip. I was 2 HP too short. Excuse me. We gotta do this again. It's fine. It's just 20 seconds of timeless. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. We got this.
Intentional RNG manipulation. We're setting up for the next one.
Yeah. The next boss needs this minute. I'm sorry. You missed to explain that.
So what House was saying was this is the second big thing that wasn't actually in the game or in the category before this. So we found out that similar to NES has a way you can use rations while underwater. MSX does not work like that. You cannot use a ration underwater. Thus, we all assumed this wasn't possible. Turns out, shoutouts to community member Puzon for one day going into this water and holding up with full HP. You can make that for some reason.
But only on easy.
This is Scuba Skip, and it's awesome because it saves like 5 minutes having to go to another building and grab an item and then come back to this building. So it's super awesome. Again, big shout outs to Puzon for that. Now, it is very, very, very important that House enters at full HP. You'll notice his HP. That is very close. He's 1 tick from death, which means if he forgets to put rations on and heal before going into the next screen, he will instantly die and go all the way back to before that boss. That has killed many a run. Big oof. So
it's the one death that also costs you time if you're going for IGT, because fun fact, we time mostly all runs in RTA.
Yep.
And because of this death warp thing, you can save a lot of time in IGT if you sacrifice RTA. So many people are saying, that's not really fun anymore. So we actually split the IGT timing and the RTA timing for this.
Yep. So big shout outs to new runner Hau5test. We thought that line House just took was only on the PAL version because we haven't mentioned it yet. House is playing on PAL because PAL Snake, kind of the whole game, but Snake runs 12
whole game is 11% faster.
Yeah, like 11% faster, which just means runs are faster. So if you look at the boards and you go, why is PAL separated? That is why. Also why PC separated, but we're not playing PC version here.
I'm not gonna play PC. Like, it's cool that it's on PC, but let me tell you, don't play casually for the first time. It has so many issues.
Hau5test showed that line is possible on NTSC, so again, big shout outs to him. We're gonna grab our final POW, our final item. That's the scuba gear. That's the item we used to have to grab, no longer necessary in any category of this game to get across that water. We're gonna get through the final set of challenges, the quote-unquote gauntlet on the way to the boss. We got gas rooms, we got mines, we got level 8 doors, which is why we killed Duck in the first place. The worst pit in the game. Many runs have died because they ran into that pit.
It's very mean.
Swap back to the
you have to immediately turn right.
More mines, more gas, and follow it all up by an electric floor that kills your bit rate. In the MSX version, you can break this, but on the PS2, they forgot the switch. And we are here at Metal Gear. Now, if you remember, Madnar gave us the order. It's right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right. That was on the test. Please repeat it after me. We need to kill Metal Gear. Let's go, House. Can we do this?
Of course we can. And yeah, we have so many rations thanks to the death abuse. We can just stand here. Sometimes I'm just toying around and still walk left and right just for the feeling. And that's it.
And that was Metal Gear. Congratulations, House. House has all the items. He's rescued all the POWs. He has collected all the weapons. A little bit of a snafu
Something
there,
happened
but
there.
it
I don't know
happens.
Yeah, it's those itchy fingers. They're just like, ah!
And here it is. Final boss, big boss. We're going to do a very particular manipulation. Set him up.
Excuse me, sir. There we go. He wants to get away, but I'm not letting him.
We're going to set him up, and we have time coming up as soon as House crosses the 3rd screen ladder. Let's get ready on time. Congratulations, House. You are on pace. I'm excited. Woo.
Time's coming up.
And time. And with
oh boy.
woo.
It's on. That was 100% on Metal Gear MSX. If you want to play Metal Gear NES, don't ask me. That's a different game. I don't like it. I play this one. That's the better one. I said it. I have one shot in this marathon concert and I'm using it. But in any case, thank you so much, everyone. That was Metal Gear MSX 100%. We have indeed done 100% of the things. We collected 24 POWs, 4 codec cards, 8 weapons, beaten 11 bosses, and got 24 items collected. Thank you so much, Sergeant Silenots, for joining me today here. It was a pleasure to have you by my side.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to watch.
What can I say, folks? It was an honor to be here. And if you found this game and this run interesting, or if you want to look into the 20-minute version of any %, I got both these categories in video tutorial form on my channel on my YouTube. It's just Hau5test, just as written here. I do runs live on Twitch if you want to see them. I'm soon done with everything. Sarge and I will do tomorrow something very nasty, which is all pits. So I have to go through all the things and have to die to all the pits. It takes a while, but I think that's a fitting end to it. And yeah, if you like, come on over to Metal Gear Speedrunners. We have a great Discord. We teach you everything for these games, for the 2D games, for all 3D games, of course, as well. And yeah, just a small shout out as well to Valeria-chan, who will join us just after the next run, after the next one, because she will do Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Also hyped to see another Metal Gear runner here in this event. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great evening and a great day. And of course, enjoy One-and-Done-athon Season 2.
Well, thank you, House. What a natural host right there. Thank you so much. But we, of course, gotta say goodbye forever. It's time, House. We gotta say goodbye forever to you. Thank you for showing off a fantastic run of Metal Gear, and we will be moving on. We're going to go to a short break here, folks, as we get ready for Lego Bionicle on the Game Boy Advance. It's going to be run by Derek MK. So please, everybody, stay tuned. This one is short, sweet, and kind of wild. So I absolutely recommend sticking around. We'll see you in a few.